Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Daybreak Africa on KAFTAN Television, brought to you right here from the City of Light, Ondo State. Thanks for staying tuned. My name is Emmanuel.
And my name is Ikhonede Joshua Odeji. You're welcome once again to the City of Light, the Sunshine State, Ondo City Station, here on KAFTAN Television, actually. Straight to our discussions for today. For the last 2 days, we have been discussing more on the Ondo local government elections, bringing you live what has been happening over time, the matters arising as regards to the election. The first day, we talked about some anomalies, as the SDP chairman himself was here to talk about some of the anomalies they experienced during the elections, actually. On the second day, which was yesterday, remember our observer Sam Olorunfemi was here. He talked about some of the issues that arise from the elections, and also gave his 2 cents on some of the matters arising as regards the elections, as well as some issues. Gave a scorecard to ODIEC and its chairman in the person of Joseph Aremo, and the activities that transpired during the whole election. I remember yesterday ended with the fact that he's not very sure if a court redress will be very will produce anything positive, and also solicited that we move ahead. But as an update though, some political parties have gone ahead to cry foul about some of the things that happened during the local government elections. Many of them talking about the fact that they are going to court for redress. Many of them calling out the ODIEC and saying that maybe the elections from now on should be handed over to INEC themselves to be the one in charge of local government elections, which might also give opposition a bit of edge to be able to win at the local government elections. But then we'll be looking deeper into many issues as arising from the local government elections, as well as progress from now on. And to discuss with us today, we have a political analyst with us. He's also a very active part of Ondo's politics, talking about some other versatility in the political sphere in Ondo, in the person of Gbenga Ajisafe. Welcome to the show, sir.
Welcome,
it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure being here this morning.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to having you this morning, actually. And I would like to ask this question from your own perspective, from your own end. How do you feel about the Ondo elections generally, the results, the outcome? What's your own take from your own perspective about the elections so far?
Yeah, as a stakeholders in the Ondo elections, I felt I'm happy that the elections have come and gone. Why is it I'm happy? Is because it's a turn that we have been quite waiting for. Why is it? We don't want any transition government or caretaker chairman to be on seat where issues are needed to attend to immediately. We need a lot of fast development in Ondo, and we need somebody who will be in charge of those things that can make it work. And that's why these elections is very important to us as people who reside here, who belong to this place, who have interest in making sure our community, our states develop. And that's why the federal government has stated that autonomy is coming down this February, and every state and every local government should be prepared for it. And that's why, as a stakeholder, I say it all that I'm happy, because we are going to be part of those people who will be benefiting from this largesse that is coming up in February, which is the autonomy that's coming to Ondo, to all the states in Nigeria, including Ondo State, which we are part of it.
So you believe so much in the whole system and all that, but we'll address that later. But let me first start with the cries of many political parties. Actually, we know that 12 political parties actually contested in the local government election. People's Democratic Party, just a few hours to the election, decided that they are not going to partake in the elections and all that. But despite the fact, other parties have come out to cry about the activities that occurred during the local government elections, the logistic problems and all those kind of things. Now, from your own perspective, do you think their cries for fouls are valid? Do you think they have a point looking at what transpired? Because I know you were quite involved, you went around and all that. Do you think their anger is justified to a large extent?
No, I don't think they are just more or less like people who contest and you are looking for a way out of beating the champion. The ruling parties, which is the APC, have demonstrated that they need this election more than any other person, many other contestants intend to contest against them. And none of the contestants, I've seen them, I've worked with them, I spoke to them, I see them, they are not prepared enough to take the battle to the winning team, which is the APC. I felt that the programs and the times given to them is enough for them to prepare if they are really serious about taking this election serious, about taking the leadership of the local government, and they don't show that to me. They do not show they are really serious about taking it, and that is it. You cannot wait forever. This election ought to have been taken for almost a year, and they have to delay it till this present time. So I want to believe that people should be prepared and be ready to take the leadership of anything they are really serious about, and that is it. If you are not prepared, you cannot win.
Speaking about the Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission, how do you see the logistics, the security, and all the things that transpired Saturday? Do you think that they are not competent enough to run this state election, like the local government election? Do you think if it is given to the INEC that they would do better? Or if the INEC should take over, that they would do better?
Yes, people have been clamoring that the INEC should take over the ODIEC, which is the state-owned constitutional independent electoral commission, which is normal. I think we have the INEC have more personnel. They have more personnel. They have a large extent of data, and they have these gadgets they are already been using as conducting a general election. So, which is normal. We all pray and we all believe that with time we get there. With time there will be a general acceptance of INEC conducting the local government election. But with that we cannot wait and say because INEC have not set the goal, the National Assembly have not passed the process, and there is no budget meant for the INEC to conduct such election in each local government, each state. So are we going to wait till that? We have to work with what we have, and that's why the ODIEC have to do the needful, and the needful is for us to have election, and because we cannot wait when others are flying, we cannot be sitting down where other states have taken their election and have gone ahead with their own election. So, and you know that the autonomy is coming now on February, and we want to be part of those people that will benefited from this autonomy. Without that, the state will lack, the local government will lack, the people in that state will also be lacking. So for that reason, I want to believe that what may have happened, whether logistic, whether delays, whether security wise, so far there is no crisis in any local government and any ward. To my best understanding, there is no crisis. There is no issues of violence in any places. So for that is the scorecard for me.
We actually heard of a few crises in one local government that involved one dead, not yet confirmed. But do you think the INEC would influence the turnout also? Because this is a local government election, which people should come out and vote for the grassroots, because this is the closest people to them, which they can talk to, they can yearn to, they can cry to. But yet the turnout was very poor. It was really very poor that even the results that are coming up, we are wondering, was it like an audio voting or something? So do you think if it is INEC that the turnout would be influenced?
No, it's not about INEC, it's not about ODIEC, it's about the political parties. Are the political parties sensitizing their people, their supporters to come out? It's not people who reside in that place. People are registered voters in that communities, in that area, in that local government. So are we now saying that is it not the people that is more closer to you that is going to vote you in? As a councillor, as a chairman, you reside in that community. You walk to the landlord association and tell them, Sama, I want to contest in this particular area, in this particular position. Please, I want your vote. It's the same set of people that come outside and vote for you. Why we say these people reside in that community? So they reside there, and if you sensitize them, that's why we say political consciousness is a class consciousness, it's a political ways of doing things. You go to the market, you canvass people. You tell them the program you have for the market women. You tell them the program you have for the market men. You tell the program you have for the market association. What are those things that you think you can do for the market to grow? This is the responsibility of a local government. Likewise, the streets. You have the street lights, you have the road that are bad, You have some areas that don't have waters. That these are the primary aims of local government. So when you fail to do that, you fail to canvass, you fail to canvass for people to come out. It is not the fault of the INEC or the ODIEC to do that for any political party. It is the responsibility of all political parties to mobilize their people, to mobilize their supporters to the voting unit to vote for them.
So let's look at it from this angle. What if these candidates had canvassed for votes and manifesto and all those things, but the voters are not satisfied with the fact that this is not the first time they will come out and say, we'll do this, we'll do that, but at the end of the day, they don't do it. So what can you say to the people in power, the councillors, the chairman? What can they do so that in the next election, people will believe them when they actually voice something?
Thank you very much. I want to tell you this, that in a very political setting, there's always a manifesto.
Yeah.
The manifestos which you have mentioned could be 7 points, some could be 5-point agenda. What you should be looking out for, and the people who are conscious of what is happening in their environment, is those cardinal points that you have said. Did you really meet some of it? If it is 5, if it is 7, did he at least achieve 3? If it is 5, if he achieved 3 and he have excuses for 2 and it's reasonable, you can say, okay, let's give him a chance. If he have a 5 cardinal point and he failed to actualize 1 or 2, you can say no, you will not able to, you cannot go back and represent us. And that's why we say that is democracy. Is a room that you have a limit, a time frame for you to be in a particular position, and you have a privilege to recontest if the constitution allow it. From there, you will know whether you have performed or you are not performed. So, and if you have given a platform to perform in a particular position before, it also give you a privilege as a person, as a career owner, as a career officer, to say, okay, I've held a particular position before. This is my achievement in that place, and people will be able to see, okay, the track record that, okay, this person or this particular man or woman have able to achieve in such area when he was in particular position before. So these are areas that people should be able to canvass themselves, say themselves, and people will come out to vote for them. As we have said earlier on, that it's not about the person, the candidate, did he have the credibility of people coming out to follow him? What have he been doing in that community? Have you been a man who have responsibility, who take the community responsibility? Have you able to give to that community in one way or the other? Have you assist them in terms of community development, in terms of areas that you felt your impact will be felt? If all those things have not been done before, and you come out and tell people to follow you, people will not follow you. People will follow you because of your antecedent, what you have done in the past.
Following about antecedents of what you've done in the past, I think I like that point that you put there, but I want to just say something, and I want to make it a question there. Talking about the low voter turnout, I never even saw it in your perspective before. I used to think it's just the job of the ODIEC or the INEC to ensure that they sensitize people. And many of the times, it's understandably so, because recently INEC pitched their budget to the National Assembly, and we are seeing a budget where they rejected 50 billion naira, and they were asking for 126. They rejected 40 billion, sorry, and were asking for 126 billion. And out of the 126 billion they were asking for, part of the expenditure that was to be in that budget was sensitization of people, voter education,
yes, INEC will do that,
mobilization,
yes,
and all that. Now, looking at it there, and I was thinking, okay, across all local governments, 704 local governments to do this thing, INEC is going to try their best and all that. But I think your perspective where you said, you yourself as a political party, you yourself as a personality that wants to win an election, you are supposed to know how to go meet your people, sensitize them, to come out, to come vote for you. So if you don't come out, it's your. But sometimes, I'm also a part of the electorate many times. I also stand with the electorate because aside from the fact that this is a job, this is my career, but aside from that, every other electorate has a career, and this is also my career. Sometimes, whenever we are electorate, just sit to discuss many times. I've seen many reasons why people don't come out. Some will say, I don't trust the system. Some will say the security aspect, which is very important, because we all know that many times when it's a matter of ruling party and oppositions,
Joshua, that is the mindset of the people. We have to correct that. We have to be consciousness of what we are doing. We have to be political consciousness that there's a need for us to turn the table. The table will not turn himself. He said the structure is not working. Who will do the structures? Who is Nigerians? Nigerians, is it not we that give this call a particular place Nigeria? Is it not we that are accepted to be in Nigerians?
We didn't accept though. We were born in this Nigeria.
That is the same thing I'm saying now. We are not. Let me tell you something. It's not as if you are born in. You have been here. Your grandfather have been here, and they agreed to be name this country Nigeria. Your grandfather, even if you say you are not, you are a Nigerian by birth. It shows that your grandparents are here and they agree to be part of it. And the reason why we are saying this is that it was Aristotle that said, in a class of nature, in a nature whereby there's no government, we behave like animal. Hey, but the moment we realize that we need a leader, because before it is your strength that will determine what territory you want to take over, just like the lion. That's why we say we are political animals. We want to take a territory, you want to take a portion of land. It is your strength that will determine how versatile you want to take a strength. You can take your fellow human being as a slave.
Yeah, the law of power.
The law of power, that is the nature of the phone now. That's why we are saying this. We are not just saying because that is what we've met. That is what is on ground. It is government that will now agree. It is we that will now agree that, okay, we cannot be doing this thing and be achieving a lot, because we have people who are more stronger than the others. So let's agree to pick a leaders, and let's all of us put our resources together for those leaders to work for us. And that is why we are in the state we are today. So, and that is what is happening. So the moment we realize that, and we need to tell our people that it is not them, it is we. It is not let them be doing it. That is wrong for any person to sit down and say, it is your duty. It is part of you. The Nigerian state is part of us. So why people will sit down and say that is ignorance? At the highest level of ignorance, the consciousness of people who have not been told in there that we are part of this thing. It is our great grandfather that bring all this thing together. It is our sweat. It is our resources. It is we that have this thing. It's not that it's them. Who are there? We are together.
Yeah. So
the moment we realize that and we begin to see that, our people consciousness begin to rise to that level and say, Mr. Shamasa, we are together now. Maybe your father, I know your father now when he was sending you to school. He said, yes. You grew up in this environment. He said, yes. I know your sister and your mommy. They are close friends of my grandfather and all that. They are not behaving this way you are behaving. They don't have this attitude.
That is, they can call out.
They can call out. They tell you your stories.
Yeah.
People who knows you tell you your stories. They tell you your backgrounds. So you don't just behave anyhow. They tell you how your family was raised in that community. You don't come. You are not coming from Canada to come and rule us. You come from Nigerians and you have a background here. So we are part of Nigerian state. We have interest in these things. The moment people realize that and come out, these are things that the people will do. It's not political party. It's not INEC that will do that. The orientation we are talking about, they will go on radios, they will go on air and television and tell people to come and vote. That's the only thing they can do, because they don't know, they cannot do more than that. They will put banners and posters everywhere. Sensitizations have started. That is, they have sensitized you people. It is now left for political parties
to do the rest.
To do those things that we have said earlier on. To go out to the people and tell them that let their consciousness rise. It did not happen in China as we say Shama Mao rule and China had the revolution. Revolution is not about killing people, it's about consciousness. Mind consciousness. We have property of the mind, we have people, political poverty, that people don't understand that it is their right to come and vote. It is their right to stay and let the vote count.
Do they really allow votes to count?
That is why we have it wrong. Okay, a particular polling unit was given to you in your community.
Yeah, definitely. Every community has polling units.
It shows that you reside in that place. The whole community agree. The way we agree in the state of nature that we want to come out and give power to we agree. If we don't agree, this thing will not come. We will not be seeing what we are seeing today. We all agree that we want to have an election. The parties we are called, the ODIEC have series of meetings with the party's representative, the party's chairmen, and they have series of meetings, and they deliberate on how, when it is them that choose dates. They do not choose the day behind them. They set together and arrange and modelize things. It's not after the election people start crying and you look at them as if they are not part of the electoral processes. They are part and parcel of these things. No parties will tell you that it's not part of the meeting that the ODIEC is conducting. They are part of it. They know when they agree. That's why it is in that meeting that you ought to have disagreed.
Like disagree at the meeting first.
Yes, before you come to the public, if you have disagree at the meetings, people will not be. All of us we cannot be in that meetings.
But you understand? It's not even understand. You know about contract power. You know about contract power. I mean, you can be in a room of 50, 20 people having a meeting. It's just like they're going to deceive themselves or just for the formalities. Because at the end of the day, the power that be will call you, see, come. If you want me to give you this position, this is what you have to do when you get there. This is how much you're going to remit to the state or the federal government from your allocation. So do you think that these meetings that you said are all party, they are always there at the meetings and not like they are left behind? Don't you think it's just for formalities?
No, I won't say that is formality. Why do we say it's formality? It's a sincere meetings. What we are saying is that do you in the first place agree or concur?
You know the beauty of power.
To do the bidding.
Yes.
It's not about power. It's about your own interests. Is it that area? Is that thing they are saying? Is it attached to your interests?
Today's politics is like they're not going into position for the people. They're going in for themselves.
Yes.
So if you say no, they're not going to give you that position. So what can you do? Yes, just to have that power position.
If it is your interest that you are going in for, and people that follows you knows that it's your interest you are agitating for, I didn't think they will support you. But if you told your people, like we discussed earlier on, that the set of people work for you and they benefited in what you are giving to them, that shows that it is not your interest alone. You are working for the interest of all. But the moment it's you alone, you will see that people will not follow you. You will see that people will be discussed about your program, about your activities. So it's going to be, I want to believe that it's a collective thing. If you agree on that table and you go back and tell your people that this is what we agree on, that shows that that's the intent of your people.
Yeah. So you have to be transparent.
Yes, that is my own ideology. I don't see that nobody coerce you, nobody force you. If they are coerced you in that meeting, you were able to say it out the way Joshua was saying that there are some press statements that people come out and say some press statement. So if you have somebody that coerced you, don't you have the privilege or the rights or freedom?
Don't you think they are endangering themselves?
Yes, to say no, don't say they are endangering themselves. I was speaking with the DSS not quite long in the election day, and he told me that if you have any complaint, you come to me. This is a secret service agency. You can tell people about you. If somebody is coercing you, there's many ways of receiving, showing that he has forced you to do that. You can record him without knowing it. You can be in a meeting and record everything you are saying. If you are bold about it, and say, look, this is what transpired at that meeting, and I have facts, I have figures. You cannot leave that to the DSS people and say he's being legal. They will call the person and question him. Secretly, and tell him that, look, this man said you threaten him.
Yeah.
And these are the facts. So people should not be giving fake news and telling people that people force us to do this. I don't believe in that shit. We have seen so many areas that people have been shot, even governors have been shot and recorded, and people have facts about it. We see people who take bribe and they are being shown to say this is you, and they cannot defend it.
We're even in the social media era.
So people cannot be saying that we are in the 21st century whereby things like this will not happen. You are in a meeting that you have freedom of your phone. You can record it, record every meeting, that everything that has been stated in that meeting, and keep it on file. If there is a need for you, you say it out. So I don't believe in people power that be. No, it is your interest. It's not your interest, it's the interest of those who follow you also. Because we go back and tell them that, look, this is what we agree, and that is logist.
Now, looking at it, I would like to ask a question actually, but I think I would like to pen it till after we come back from our break actually. And when we're back, we'll continue with our discussions here on Daybreak Africa, as our guest is still with us in the studios. We'll be right back.
So we'll go back to our topic today, and we still have in our studio today a political analyst, Gbenga Ajisafe. Thank you very much for waiting and being with us today, sir. So let's continue.
I'm talking about continuing now. One of the things that I wanted to ask before we went on that break was the fact that many of those political parties are talking about seeking redress at the courts. Do you think anything is going to come out from the courts looking at the local government elections? Or what's your advice for them? Should they go to the courts, or just let us work hand in hand to just ensure that local government grows in Nigeria?
Yeah, if anybody wants to go to the court, I will not say they should not go to the court. It's meant to readdress so many issues. Court is not meant for. It's for you to tender evidence and fact and figures. And if your what you said is genuine, the court will surely listen to it. But it's not meant for you alone. The court is meant for both parties. So if you are going, there is a judge that will look into it, what issues that you brought in, and if you are right, we give you the required answer. But don't have that mindset that you don't have the right to go to the court. No. But if you felt it is the need also for us to work together as a team to move the state or the interest of the people at hand, so it's okay. They can also do that if they agree to work with the present elected officers that have been there today. So it's good, because like my leader will say, he say the more the merrier. The more they come together and start working, the more benefit the community we have, the more the local government will benefit from them. So I think it's okay.
Well, now looking at it, you talked about benefits here. I was listening to a news story yesterday, and even 2 days ago, it was a developing story where the federal government was talking about the fact that a separate account will be opened for all local governments in Nigeria with the CBN, and they have up to 48 hours to get that ready. And because of every allocation will not pass through any state, it's going to go straight
to the local government,
to the local government and all that. But now we talked about something yesterday. I want to bring it to your table. Looking at the fact that many people feel that many of the people that are elected currently are like RNGs, according to the statements of some of the political parties, and they are talking about the fact that normally the plan for the local government is that they will be independent, autonomous enough to take decisions for themselves, develop themselves locally, community-wise. Government will get to the people of the grassroots. But they say, looking at this, it seems as if most states now, not just Ondo states now we're talking about general states in Nigeria. Because there were 2 observations. The first observation was that for most states that did local government elections, everybody elected belonged to the ruling party in the state, Ondo included. And they were like, do you think that the local government officials, the local government chairmen, are free from the grasp of the state governors with such kind of arrangements, to a point that they will still be making, like we talked about agreements, that according to agreements, they will still be remitting money to their state governors? What's your take? Do you think they are totally independent or autonomous as we speak?
When we say independent, there's 2 classes of it. But I will just keep to what you said. Yes, in the eyes of the law, they should be independent. they should have every right to take decision on their own. They don't have any burden or pressure from any levels. That is their own independence, that's of the law. But to us as a layman, we look at it as if so far they have a father, which is the state governor, and they cannot be doing things without telling their father, which is the governor of a state. And the governor can give direction or directive, whichever way. If the local government chairman felt it's going to suit his people, he may take such suit. But remind you that shamans and local government shamans don't have immunity. So the eyes of the law also is close to them, like the FCC and the IPC. So if they follow wrong advice or wrong direction or misconcept what their government is telling them, they will find themselves in the water loom. Nobody will bail them out. So to me, they are independent in the eyes of the law, and they have every right to take their personal decision concerning their office. The only thing that somebody we say today is that if you are being pressed, and like I always tell any other person that is close to me, if you are being pressed, you can resign in that office. It's not a do or die affair. If somebody felt you are not being performing, and you felt you have performed your limit, you perform your highest, you can honorably resign. Because Nigerians don't like resigning.
I was about going there because I never seen anybody.
There's no how you tell them they will not resign.
Resigning.
So in a civilized country, people resign. If people felt okay, I go back to my business. I can survive without not playing politics. I can survive without not being on this seat. So people will willingly resign for their integrity, for what they intend to achieve. But if you don't resign and you can face the music, so let the music play. So let the drum play and you dance to your music. So that is my kind advice to any local government chairman that is occupying that seat. If you felt you are independent, if the law sees you as an independent body, and they send money to your account, and you are the chief officer of that local government, you are going to account for every kobo.
Every penny.
So don't say, it is the government that said we should go and we told you that you are independent now. Why are you saying the government again? So if the governor told you A and you felt okay, Mr. Governor, please, so this is the way I think this thing will go, I think it will be very interest of you. And in fact, you are not agree, you can resign. That's why I say you can resign. So nobody force you. That's why I don't believe in forcing.
But should even governors interfere at all with whatever the local government?
The governor can give directive. It is the best interest for the local government to follow. The governor can say, okay, in your local government, I think these things will work in your local government. That is the limit the government can tell you, because you are free, but you are not. You can seek advice from him. He will tell you, okay, I think this way we go because we are towards our program, towards that place you are going in your local government. The government may have some 2 or 3 projects you want to do in your local government, and you also may have similar projects. So it is best for you to seek the governors and see areas that you can partner with the state governor. So that area is where I say you can always seek advice, you can always towards to their government, but it's not as if you are not free or you are not independent per se. So people will sit down and say, they are not free. Me, I don't see it. I see it as personal thing. If you have ideas and you want to make your local government fly, you can go directly to the budget and look, what is it that is being budgeted for us in our local government? What are the plans for this year? I think that is the right mind every local government should do. Look at the state budget.
So you are talking about collaborations.
Yes, collaboration. That you can, if you fail to do that, you fail already.
Yeah, I see.
That's why some people say, the state government run to the federal government. The federal government have budgets. Like our state now, they are doing dualization. You know that they are from Ondo to Akure, even to the dualization have started. Dualizing the major road. So if any state government is not looking to that and he say he want to construct road, that is, you have failed already, because the state road have been budget have been passed to budget, and the road have started commencing. It will last for 4 years. So if it shows that in the next 4 years the state government should not touch anything that have to do with or the express road,
because definitely the federal government
is taking care of
it.
It's for you to look in another direction. So if you now say there is pothole in social place and you are using the state money to go and fund that place, that is wrong. So the local government is also looking, what is it that the state is doing to our local government? What are they bringing? The moment you got in that, okay, they want to do social schools, they have this in their budget that they want to do a road for us. So that shows that this road have been taken care of. So what is it that has not been taken care of that we can do to our people? That is collaboration. That is direction. So people don't say, the guys, no, I don't believe in that theory.
But people think that at least constitutionally they already stated rules for each of them, even though that of the local government is not yet extremely pronounced like that of the local, like of the state governors and the president. You know, we have the executive list, we have the concurrent lists and lists like that. So looking at it, don't you think that there should be more definitive roles played by the local government stated constitutionally, so that there won't be clash of interest like that in those kind of areas?
Yes, there is the local government have every right in their anything that concern market. They have their own local judge, they have customary courts being located to them, they have primary in their domain which they have right for, and local government have roads, drainages. These are things, yes, these are things that the federal and the state will not go into. So local governments have right to provide waters, schools, amenities, hospitals. Yeah, they also have manpower, civil servants that are working in their local government. So they all these things, they are training, they can provide training to their local government staffs. So areas are being defined, but all these areas that have been defined, if the state is doing a project that is immediately going to affect the local government, then to key into it, to collaborate, to see areas they can work, so that the job will be more faster
and easier for
their people to benefit.
Yeah.
The essence of it is for their people to benefit. If they are there and they are saying they are not working with the state, I think they are missing it. The moment the governors say this is the direction we are coming to your local government, they should be able to key into it and start working, so that the people can benefit immediately from that thing. The budget that is stipulated for them, they need to work and monitor those projects also. Is the state government have then released for yes, where is the contractor, why is it on site? These are they need to work with the contractor also to make sure that those jobs have been done. They can give reports on daily activity of what is happening there. So these are, because those things have been is meant for them, and they should maintain it also. Any project that has been commissioned, the local government took responsibility of maintaining such things, making sure that the people maintain such projects so that it can last longer. So he involved the community, involve the leaders in that community, involve the councillors, so that those things that are meant for their people will be used for the good of those people. So all these things are collaborations, so they are independent in that wise.
But now I'm looking at it, I think we have it at this particular time away a bit from politics, away a bit of elections and all that. I think because while we were talking, I just sat down a bit and I began to reason through a lot of things. I think we have it from February onwards now in Nigeria, we have such a very structural kind of governance. We'll be having councillors for the first time. Across all states, we'll be having local government chairman. That means we have all councillors available, all local government chairmen available in all 744 local governments in Nigeria. State governors are in all states. The president is seated. We have senators, we have House of Rep members, we have House of Assembly members, all representing the people. Now, with all these officials now present in government, what do you think and how fast do you think Nigeria as a nation can develop totally towards where it's supposed to be at this particular time in the World Fair?
I think what you said is germane. Germane in the sense that the moment we've gotten this right, this thing, it is the least and it's the most important is local government. The moment we got it right, the consciousness of our people will rise. That okay, it is local government that will give this, local government that will do this, local government that will do that. So, and that's why we say it's most closest to the people. Some people will not go to Akure for 6 months or 1 year. I want to bet you too. My father will not leave his cocoa and start moving around. He will be in the community where he's enjoying his cocoa. The only thing he needs is the fresh bread to come from the city. He's saying in a farm, he needs things that is not producing in that area. So he needs a road that will bring, motorable road that will bring gas that they want to use firewood again. They want to be using gas. You need a motorable that somebody will be coming and selling in that place. So the amenity that we are enjoying in the city, they will be able to enjoy it in that place. Light, water, and if the local government gets it right, they will partner. In my community where I come from, the network signal is not working. We cannot make call because the state government will not do that for us.
It takes someone from within.
The community will have to rise. So we need a councillor, a local government chairman that can write to that effect and tell the network provider to bring this thing come to his people. Likewise, what we have said earlier on, that the benefit of those things, because you know the problem of your people, you know the immediate problem of them. We have communication problem, we don't have good network. How do we bring this thing on? Okay, we are the leaders of these communities, we are the representatives of this place. How do we go and meet network provider to bring mass or to channel mass to that area so that people there can have network to call? These are the responsibility the local government will use, and the moment local government do that rightly, people will start benefiting from the government, because they will listen to news, they will be able to call out if there is any crisis, they will be able to talk. So these are things that it gets development close to the people. So the moment we get this right, the local government is being stable, the development will be faster. The development in every community will grow, and that's why we see that because of the areas are not developed, they are creating more LDS, area development committee, so that the government will be closer to those people. And that's why you see some governors, even the last Aketi, he was trying to create those things that we should have more areas, local government council, development councils. The reason why they are doing it is to make government closer to their people, because some areas that have been abandoned, neglect, as if the government is not existing, because the government cannot see everywhere. So you have to have people who represent and bring issues
from those places,
so that people can solve it, can notice that okay, that place need bridges, okay, that place need water, that place need power, like that.
But looking at it, I used to even look at Ondo in a very particular way, that Ondo is too big. Looking at Ondo West, Ondo East. Ondo West, Ondo East in some areas can even be a state because of how big they can be.
Yes.
Same with Okrisukwa and all those areas. And you know, you talked about LCDs. In Lagos, we also have, they are also LCDs.
Yeah, I mean, existed in all this
That's
one.
why Lagos has 57.
And they have benefited from it.
7 LCDs, and they benefited from it.
Because you see, most places in Lagos have been developed. We went to some areas that in place I stayed in Lagos, I stayed in Felodu, Ajiromi Felodu, a very wide local government. You go to Apapa, you know, you see, because the levels of development have changed. You go to Suleri, whereby the local government are able to generate funds and assist those areas that have been far away from the main town, the main city.
You see street lights everywhere, all those things.
All those street names, street were names. People cannot be moving in Lagos today and you find, I'm looking for a particular place. The streets have been named.
Not at all.
And these are the core areas where the local government come in. Street names. You create more areas, you need name to be named in those areas. People build houses every day. Every year, a place will be open.
New estates come
up. Some feeling, yes. So and those are development. When you feel you build houses and people reside in that places, there's a need for local government to identify them and give numbers and give names.
So we can even know the data, the
data of that people that place and see how primary care center we go close to that people. We need to have primary health care center. That is the local government for you. The primary health care center will take care of the immunity, the immunization of those children that have been born in that place. Primary health care center will take the sensor, the date of birth of those children, the sensor of those children.
Area
controls. So these things must be close to those people. If these things are not close to those children that have been born in that place, we have problem of immunization.
I really appreciate it. Where I was even trying to go is that but let me just ask it as a one-stop answer. So Ondo State has been working towards having LCDs too, so even though it's still at the federal, it's still in the courts, it's still with the judiciary, they are still going back and forth on it. But do you think that should actually stand aside from just having local government? Because some places are way too big to just be under one particular local government. So yes, do you think LCDA should come up to
yes, LCDA will come up, but in the eyes of the law, they are not existing. So how do we now make those areas that have been left? How do we? That is why a councillor should stand as the closest.
So with councillors, we don't really need them.
With councillors, you don't need them. The federal councillors can always bring problems of his community and tell them, look, these areas we have 1,000 people stay in this place. They don't have primary health care center. They don't have primary schools. They don't have markets.
All right, thank you, sir, for the whole discussion. I would like the fact that you discussed many of the issues that pertains to other local governments here with us today. Like we always say, it's Daybreak Africa and other political parties too as well. We bring everybody's grievances to the table. We discuss them, its varieties.
Today, our guest was more like a very cool person, not like every other political analyst that came and was fire. So we've heard a lot about what the local government chairman, the councillors, the state government, and every other person should do to keep Nigeria going and in one piece. I hope we take this information very useful while we stay informed every day. Thank you once again for joining us. Stay tuned for tomorrow. My name is Glory Emmanuel.
And my name is Ikhonede Joshua Yodeji. One of the things I would just like to tell you is, like the guest rightly said, it's Nigeria. We are the ones involved in this country. So we must always do all we can to be involved in both the electoral process and also in partnering with the government officials to ensure that we arrive at where we're supposed to be in the country at this time. Well, till we meet tomorrow, my name still remains Ikhonede Joshua Yodeji. Bye.